All right, welcome everyone to the live stream Wednesday night. Could be afternoon where you're at, could be later in the evening, but hello, 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 and just welcome to the live stream. Tonight we're going to talk about kitchen trends, trendy trends from inside the industry insiders trends. I think it's called, what is it? Kitchen trends from inside the industry. That's what we're talking about tonight. We're going to go about talking about some of these wonderful trends that we see in blogs and whatnot. I don't know if you've ever watched or read kitchen blogs, or even on YouTube. There's lots of blogs out there and lots of top 10 lists. I have one, of course. I do lots of videos on kitchen trends, and sometimes when I read them with a different perspective than maybe someone else, just because I'm in the industry for so long. I read these trends and these blogs rather with kind of different eyes, and I sometimes wonder where they come from and why they're saying the things they say, and are they really trends, or are they just interesting and cool ideas? And so trying to sift through what the real trends are and what we should be looking at, if we're looking to do something that's trendy in our kitchen. Hey, Rob, thanks for joining me. So that's what I want to talk about tonight. Now, last Saturday, I put out a video, and it was all about, it was the whole idea of the video was trends for the kitchen that you normally don't hear about. Trends that are really more functional driven, trends that would really serve you well for a long, long time in your kitchen. So they didn't have to do with style. They didn't have to do with, anything like that, any particular, type of kitchen, whether it's contemporary or traditional or modern or organic or whatever. And it didn't have to do with colors and whatnot. They were really functional, and they were really purposefully put that way, because if we look at kitchens from the standpoint of being functional first, and then as something that is beautiful and nice to look at and checks off all those boxes, I think we're doing it in the right order. For me personally, as a designer, as a kitchen designer, especially, that's how I look at it. So the video on Saturday was all about that. I invite you to go check that out. If you haven't watched it, I'll put a link in the description of this video. So if you're watching the replay, you can certainly go check that out at the end of the video, and you can check out those trends. Now, there were some for that list that I wanted to add, but they didn't really fit that particular video. I'm going to talk about them tonight, and I want to go through some of these kitchen trends that they're not necessarily functional. They're definitely more style, but they're from industry insiders. In other words, they're from within the industry, people who are in design, architecture, builders, contractors who are building kitchens, who are selling kitchens, who are designing kitchens. And their job is to kind of forecast what these trends are going to be, because they're selling these products, and they want to sell the right product. So they want to be able to have consumers come in and say, I'm looking for this particular thing. And hey, what do you know? We just happen to have that particular thing because we had the foresight to see that it would trend into the next number of years. So these are items that are going to be, reoccurring over the next number of years, according to industry insiders. Now, I don't have to agree with them. You don't have to agree with them, but they are things that we should look out for. And some of them are the easy ones we'll talk about, some of the normal ones. And so these are more just stylized, what colors and styles and stuff like that. Interesting nonetheless. I like to talk about it. If you're joining the live stream, I'd like to say hi, leave a comment in the chat. And if you have a question or want to say something that we can chat about, that's what we're here for, is just to chat about kitchens and hang out for a little while and have a good night. So the number one thing I want to talk about, and I will just switch this on. So the easy one, the first two are pretty easy, and we're going to chat about them. I have a video coming out this week. It's about countertops. And everyone knows that Quartz is, I think at least everyone knows, you should know that Quartz countertop is just the number one seller right now. It has been for the last year or so. And it's been popular for a number of years, but it's really become the number one seller for kitchen countertops, in North America, at least. Now, I don't know about other parts of the world specifically, but in North America, Quartz has been really, really trending and dominating the countertop industry, so much so that it has recently overtaken granite as far as the market goes and sales. Now, lots of people have opinions on quartz and on granite, on every countertop, really. We chatted about countertops last week, and there's so many opinions about it, and we love some, we don't love some. In my opinion, is there's pros and cons to all of them, and you have to pick one that fits you and your lifestyle and your budget and what you like. And so, that's always kind of the way that I want to approach it. And so this first one should be no surprise, but in particular, so this is the number one trend. These aren't in any particular order, but a trend that we should be looking out for, and it's very obvious, it's going to be quartz, and not just quartz, but light colored quartz. And not only light colored quartz, but more of that white marble quartzite type of style, type of pattern that looks has veins in it that is just long and beautiful and has a lot of movement to it. Those colors are really, really popular and will be trending. And you can look at any kitchen blog. You can look on the internet. You type in kitchens, and you just bring up images in Google, and you'll see so many images with this type of countertop choice as opposed to any others. And if you really look through, you'll notice that this color dominates in Google search, or it dominates just on a lot of these pictures and images that are uploaded to the internet, and especially in kitchen blogs where we're talking about trends and other things like that. So light colored quartz is really, really the top of the food chain as far as color and type of countertop. Now, I don't want to get into talking about quartz and its pros and cons in this video. We can talk about that later. And I have a video coming out specifically again next week about quartz versus other types of countertops. But to say that this is a trend that's not going away. So as opposed to other styles of countertop and as opposed to other colors of countertop, particularly it's these light colors, these whitish or off-white colors that resemble marble and quartzite that have a lot of movement, that are really trending right now. And these are the number one sellers, and they're forecasted to be the number one sellers over the next number of years. So they can't be ignored. Now, that doesn't mean you have to like it. Doesn't mean that you should go out and buy it. You have to satisfy what your desire is for your kitchen. But it's just to recognize that the industry is saying that these are the things that are going to be popular. And this is coming from reports from the NKBA and other industry insiders that look at what's happening in the world of kitchen, in the world of what people are purchasing, because this is really all about what people are purchasing, and forecasting what's going to be popular, and these are the things. So that's number one. And whether or not you like that or not, now I personally love that light colored quartz. Now I don't have quartz in my kitchen, I have laminate, but it resembles again that Calcutta marble look, and it looks really sharp. Something that you can go into any stock line of countertops. If you go to a place where they sell countertops, and they'll have stock laminates, most likely they'll have a color that represents this trend, and it's something to look out for. So that's the number one trend that is just on point over the next little while. Now, the next one is similar. Everybody knows about this one, and it's either I hate it or I love it type of deal. And I happen to love it. A lot of people happen to love it, and a lot of people happen to hate it. And here it is. It's white kitchens. White kitchens or off-white kitchens. I like off-white, by the way, right now, because I think there's so many tones or hues or colors of white, that you can go with, that can really make your kitchen not just a stark white cabinet, not just a bright hospital look that they talk about, but something that has a little bit of reflection of maybe the other colors in your house. And there's a lot of colors that you can choose from in that white realm. Now, when I was younger, or not even that long ago, white was just white. It was just one color. And I remember someone asking me, like, what color white do you want? I'm like, well, what are you talking about? White, isn't white white? And of course, they all looked at me like, what's wrong with you? How come you're a kitchen designer and you don't know this? Well, I'm sorry. I'm learning too. And that was a while ago. I've since learned that there's lots of colors of white, and these off whites and these cloud whites, or whatever the different terms are for them. There's a lot of colors in that line that are really popular. And you know what? White kitchens are just dominating, and they have been dominating. They're going to continue to dominate for the next little while. And what I say is, if you don't like the white kitchen trend, stop buying white kitchens. That's how it's going to end. If the consumer stops purchasing white kitchens, and all these companies are going to clue into that and start, kind of jockeying for what the next color is going to be. Now, surprisingly, the next color in line underneath white is gray. Now, for me, I just think I'm not a fan of gray for cabinets, like personally. Lots of people do it, and I think it looks, it's great. And if you like it, like you like it. But for me personally, it's not my favorite. And I prefer like a darker color as a contrast to white than just a gray color. But gray kitchens are very popular, and they're trending upward quite a bit. And so this fad of gray is really turning into a trend that people and consumers are purchasing. And you can go into Home Depot or other stores like that and notice now that they have gray stock cabinets you can buy right off the shelf. So that's an indicator of, okay, this is going to be trendy for a while because they're putting a lot of money into having this inventory sit in warehouses and shuffle around between stores that they can sell you, the consumer, because they understand that this is what people like you and me are seeing either on the internet or in blogs or in magazines or whatever. I don't know if we read magazines anymore or not, but that's what they're looking at. And so when they see that, and they see that gray is really trending, and they see that industry reports say that gray is trending, then they're going to dive onto that. So you can see that gray will be vying for that position as the number one. I don't think anything's ever going to topple white. I could be wrong. Now, underneath gray, the next most popular color, and I was a little bit surprised by this. The next most popular color, and you can let me know what you think it is in the chat. But I'm just going to tell you, it's beige or bone. Now, that kind of surprised me. I thought it would be blue because blue is super trendy. Green is sort of the color of the year apparently, and all these other types of colors. But beige is really, really a color that is hot in the industry right now. And years ago, beige was a popular color, and it kind of came and went. And I remember selling beige countertop or beige cabinets rather. I remember selling beige thermoplastic cabinets, so that that plastic laminated cabinet. I'd sell those, and they were beige. And I remember people I knew had beige cabinets or bone cabinets. And I remember back in the 80s, we would have beige or bone colored toilets and sinks and tubs. You remember those? And they had other colors too, but they were really, really popular. And then that all just kind of went away, wasn't trendy anymore. And now all of a sudden, again, beige is a really popular color. So it goes white, gray, and beige. And then those other colors come underneath. So blues and greens, blacks, of course, is very popular. So we have this, beige is a trendy color right now, and that definitely took me by surprise. Let me know in the chats in the chat there. Do you like beige? Is beige cool? I mean, I guess not even walls are really beigey anymore. Like nothing's beige anymore. But apparently, it's something that's hot. Now I'm just going to jump to some of the comments. I really appreciate if you're on live, drop a comment in or in the chat. Let's chat it up. So let me just pop up here to Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Black and white. Yeah, so black and white is really, I think, looks great. I think it's really popular, but now we're talking about white kitchens as being the number one trend, and then beige or gray and beige. But the other thing that's obviously trendy is just contrasting colors. So whether it's base and wall cabinets or island and the rest of your kitchen, and black is definitely the go-to color for that, especially if you want that organic or that Japandi look or whatever that people are going for. I think black and white looks stunning in a kitchen, especially if it's a kind of a muted, matte black finish. Looks really, really cool. So thanks, Kelly, for asking about that. Oh, let's go to, hi, Darlene. Really great to have you on here. Appreciate you coming on. We had to go to fabrication shop to find some place for high def laminate on our cabinets, white field stone, high def laminate. So are you talking, Darlene, about the doors? Or are you talking about the countertops? High def laminate cabinets are still very, very highly produced and getting better and better all the time. Years ago, it was thermofoil cabinets and they would delaminate, and we'd have a lot of problems with them. But then they came into really getting good at making them, and they're much better. I mean, if you go to Home Depot, that's what you'll find. A lot of that is a thermoplastic door. They have wood too, just countertops. High definition countertops, high def laminate. Yeah, Whitefield stone. So Whitefield stone, is that the color, Darlene, that you're talking about? And if so, yeah, that I'd like to know what company that is. So is it like Formica or Arborite or Pineite or Wilsonart? There's a whole bunch of different colors, makers out there for these laminates. And high def laminate is definitely the way to go. They make some really beautiful colors. Go Joe Buddy. Yeah. Ooh, I don't like beige burnt out on that color. Tell me, what do you think, people? Is beige the way to go? I don't know. I like different varieties of beige, not all the same tone. Definitely not all the same tone. Same with white, right? Like white cabinets to me used to just be white. Now there's so many, not now, there always was different colors of white, but I just didn't clue into it. And there's lots of different colors of beige. There is a channel called Paint People. I think they're in Toronto. They have a really great channel on paint, and they do some on painting their cabinets. And definitely you should check them out if you're looking for some advice on color. They're excellent. I think it's called Paint People. And if I'm wrong, someone please correct me. Yeah, they called them almond. Yeah, almond. That was the color of them. Almond toilets. Those were a thing. Hey, Sanjiv. I hope I said your name right. If not, I apologize. But thank you. I seen the comments on another video, so I really appreciate you in the comments. I read the trending colors in Europe are blue and green. Green especially is really trending, and that's good to know in Europe. So thank you for mentioning that. It's trending in North America as well, and I thought it was trending more. If you go on to almost any blog, or like kitchen blog, like even on YouTube, or even if you go on the internet and just search up trend, like kitchen trends, green and blue are on those lists. Designers they're all saying, especially green right now is definitely one to be looking for. Now, when you get into colors, you get into a lot of, like, I wouldn't like a green kitchen. Like, I think a video from Michael this past week, I think he was talking about green and he loves it. So, right, it's just like, I don't like it, he likes it. It just depends on what you like. Now, I would like certain blues maybe more than that. I definitely wouldn't like a green. And so those colors are definitely trending in Europe. Yeah, that's good to know. But it'd be interesting to know where beige and gray is in Europe as far as how popular they are. And I'm pretty sure white is probably really on point almost anywhere, I think, in the world. Oh, cool. Wilson art. Yeah. So that's awesome. White field. I'll have to look up what that color is. I bet it's gorgeous. Wilson Art's a great company. Hey, you didn't miss anything. We're just getting started. So awesome that you're here. And I appreciate it. I'd like to say hey to Mike. I did a video. Hi, Mike. Mike calls me Tobes. That's okay. And Lindsay, what are you saying? Lindsay's kitchen has lime green walls. Well, I don't expect anything less from you, Lindsay. I think you should go with lime green. I think, if that's what you like, go for it. I bet it's going to look awesome. Thanks for coming on, Mike. If you remember, I did a video a while back of they put a kitchen in their basement as an apartment kitchen, and we did a little bit of design work on that. And I think you're installing it now, Mike. Tell me when you're done, because we're going to come with the camera and have a look at that. So white is on trend. Let's see what other comments. Appreciate anyone who's in the comments, and we can talk. Let's bring up. Hey, Matthew, great to have you on again. Thoughts on going all stainless steel appliances? Should I consider using panel ready for the fridge and dishwasher? Well, that depends on who you talk to. And my buddy, Michael, Kitchen Insider, in the UK is going to say, make sure those things are panel ready. And I can't disagree with them, because I think that look is really, really, really nice. However, in North America, it's not as a big deal, I guess, to have your fridge and dishwasher as something that's not integrated. So I would say, like, I like that look. Personally, I think it looks amazing and it looks beautiful. So if you're going to go that way, I think it's a good way to go. It depends. I would say, here's what I would say: have a kitchen designer like me or whoever, design that kitchen. I don't mean you have to use me, but find someone who can design that kitchen and show you both. So you can look at it in 3D and say, okay, this is what it looks like this way, and this is what it looks like that way. It really helps you to get an idea of what that is. So, and yeah, Mike's just saying panel ready's higher end. Definitely, panel ready dishwashers are more expensive. Panel ready fridges are more expensive for sure. And plus, you have to buy extra doors from your cabinet maker for that as well. But I think, I know, let me know if you're in the market for those or if you've been looking for those particular appliances. I'm not an appliance specialist, but I would dare to say that they're definitely higher end or priced higher end. Let me know what you find out about that. Darlene, I totally agree with you. Hit the like button for my tree back there. I got the star. I got to look at the star there. The star's glowing bright. And we're ready for Christmas around here. Let me tell you, we get ready early. So white is still the trend. What can you say? Are you sick of hearing about white cabinets? You should be, but you're going to continue hearing about them for a long time. All right, the next trend that didn't make my video last week, but is definitely a stylized thing that we should be looking at. And this has to do with door style. And it's flat panel doors. And what I mean by that are doors that are just, flat modern with no extrusions, no depth, just flat. Okay. So they're not raised panel and they're not recessed panel. They're just flat doors. These are the doors that are really trendy and more consumers are purchasing. And this might have to do with Home Depot. Might have to do, not Home Depot, has nothing to do with them. It actually has to do with IKEA because they really bring that trend and bring that modern look. And so more and more people are going that way. Now, underneath that, and pretty close behind that trend is still a recessed panel door. Now, when I got into the industry, raised panel doors were all the rage. Everybody had a raised panel door. It signified quality. It signified a rich kitchen. And you would only have a shaker style kitchen if you couldn't afford a raised panel door. That was kind of the idea. Not true. I'm just saying that's how it was looked at. If you could afford a raised panel door, that, good for you kind of thing. And then over time, that raised panel door, the shaker style really came into popularity. And what was happening is that people were complaining about the shaker style being kind of rickety and not, just, every time it would close, it would kind of rattle. And so they started making reversed raised panel doors, which is basically a raised panel backwards. So it gave you a shaker look, but if you open the door, it was raised on the inside to give you a nice, solid, thick door with the benefit of having the shaker look. And that was popular for a long time, and that still is. And I say, if you're going to do a shaker door, if you're not doing a one-piece MDF painted door or something like that, but if you're doing a wooden painted door, then my recommendation is to go with a reversed raised panel. And that really gives it some solid, a feel to it, and gives it some, when it closes, it doesn't have that sound. And even with soft close hinges, you think that would take it away, but it doesn't. Like that last little bit of the soft close or when it, catches, you get that rattle. So reversed raised panel. So if you're in the market for a new kitchen and you're looking at your builder and you're, going through the motions of ordering kitchens, ask about a reversed raised panel door. Do they offer that? Do they have that? What are the differences? And have them show you. Now, if this is only for a wooden door, normally, if you're going to go with an MDF door, you can get a one-piece shaker door in MDF. They're getting better and better at rotering out the corners, so they're true shaker look. You can get 5-piece MDF doors and different doors like that don't have that rattle of the wood. But we're going to talk about this in 1 second. This next trend is that there's people are more and more wanting to buy wooden products more than ever these days. People are wanting to buy real wooden products, more than MDF, more than particle board, more than anything that because there's a fear of off gassing, there's a fear of added formaldehyde, there's a fear of all this type of stuff in the industry, and how safe are cabinets. I mean, we replaced a whole kitchen one time because it was made from melamine, and the customer thought they were purchasing plywood cabinets, and when the melamine cabinets showed up, they apparently just started having just an environmental reaction, an allergic reaction, and it was a really big deal. We had to replace the whole thing, and it was a big deal, obviously, for both the customer and for the supplier, because just so much money was involved. But more and more people are really wanting to have real products. And here's a good little question. Hi, Kelly. Again, does MDF get a bad rap? Cheap material. MDF does get a bad rap, and depends on who you talk to. It really depends on who you talk to about that. A lot of cabinet suppliers make doors out of MDF and they're painted. Or if you get a thermoplastic door from IKEA or any of those companies that have thermoplastic flat panel doors, or raised panel doors, flat panel doors, recessed panel doors, those thermoplastic doors have a core that's MDF, and some people hate it, some people love it. So I just want to pop back up. Hey Jeff, easy to clean flat panel, right? And that's one of the great features. In all my time selling kitchens for a long time, I can only remember really a little handful of people who purchased a flat modern style door. And like I said, most people were buying that cathedral style raised panel, or what we called classic, was just a square raised panel. That was very popular for a long time. But the thing is, you're right, cleaning, even with a shaker panel door, you have that groove from where the stile and rail meets that center panel, and that can be kind of grimy and gross. I mean, you honestly have to get in there with a toothpick and like your shop vac to clean it. So I don't know who wants to do that, but I mean, I have to do it because we have shaker doors, and they do get grimy, honestly. So that is one of the definite benefits of doing that. Kelly, help me out. What's boring? Tell me what's boring. Hopefully not my live stream. So flat panel doors in the industry right now, according to industry insiders, is trending. So something to look at. And yeah, and here we go. Yeah, love that with no handle. So that's the other thing that is trending, interestingly enough, is that no handles is more and more popular, or having integrated handles in cabinets. Okay, cool. Thanks. So having integrated handles, and again, from my experience, and this has to do with demographic in my geographical area and who I'm selling cabinets to, no one would ever think of having a cabinet without a handle. And so to ask for that would be something that was rare for me. But now more and more people are looking at those integrated handles, or no handles at all. And IKEA does that with some of their products. They have just an integrated handle in the door. It's a very modern look. I think designers who were really on the cutting edge a few years ago had a better grasp on what was going to be happening, and you were seeing that. And then now it's becoming really popular. So modern style flat panel doors has a lot of benefits. And the only thing I think about with that type of door style is if it is a wood door, wood moves. It has movement with temperature, humidity, with the environment. I don't know in your home where you live, like right now where we are, all my doors are tight. Not my kitchen, but all my doors in my house are tight because of the climate right now. And as we head into the summer, all the doors start closing easier and they're looser, just because of just the pressure and the humidity and the seasonal changes. And that happens with cabinet doors. And you'll notice that if your cabinet doors are warped at some point in the year, it has to do with your climate. If you especially have humidity in your climate, your doors are going to respond to that. And that's why people went with MDF doors that were painted, or MDF doors that were thermoplastic, because MDF does not absorb humidity in the same way that wood absorbs humidity, because wood just moves. And that's one of the beauties of wood, but that's something to keep in mind as you're thinking about buying cabinets. How do you find out if your cabinet's off gas? I researched for our flooding, but never considered, oh, flooring, sorry, but never considered for the cabinets. Well, that's a good question, and you're going to get different answers depending on who you ask. Now, I'm not a pro at as far as how to determine what off gas or not. And I don't know if there's some kind of special instrument that needs to be used. I'm not sure. I know with this particular lady, she had an allergic reaction, and she, you know, claimed that it was really affecting her. So, you can't dispute that. I certainly couldn't or wanted to. I totally was like, yeah, I get it, because people have really sensitive environmental issues. But how do you find out? I think, yeah, you have to just dig deep into some research on what the company uses, on what are they claiming about their products. I mean, especially now in the age we live in, companies have a lot of green standards, and they have a lot of things that they go by to certify their cabinets, so that there's low emissions, and there's a level that's okay, I guess, that they can off gas. And I think their websites and those companies should tell you that. And if you can't find that information, then I would probably be a little bit suspicious. And then, because I'm sure if you found out for flooring, it would be the same principle, because it's generally the same type of materials that they'd be using to make those things. Talking about doors, I'll have to go back and hear. Oh, okay. But I'm planning flat panel in my new kitchen. Well, I'll tell you what you missed. Flat panel is right on. Basically, it's trending upwards. It's what you should be looking at if you want to have a trendy kitchen, because we're just talking about kitchen trends that I didn't put on my last video. That if you didn't check that video out, I encourage you to go look at it later on in the description. I'll put a link. Kitchen trends that are really driven towards function. And these ones I left out because they're more stylish. And that one of those was flat panel doors. And flat panel doors are trending in the industry. And then recessed panel doors. And raised panel doors are like so far down the list. It's really funny. Yeah, I greatly prefer a raised panel door. And they're just not popular. Why? I don't know. They look great. They're just not the look that people are going for. So yeah, that was the only thing I ever sold, was raised panel doors, and all the different types. Here's a good comment. I love push to open, no handles. Push to open's really, really functional, and you can step that up a notch and go with some servo drives. That's basically a lot of money to electronically open your doors, either by touch or by sense, like a light touch, or by a bump rather. And it's a ton of money, which is relative, by the way. Money is relative. Number one rule I learned when I was in sales is that everybody's idea of how expensive something is different, and never tell a customer that it's too expensive, because you're trying to sell it to them. But nonetheless, it's pricey to do these servo drives. But yeah, having something like that is really cool, especially if you have the no handle type of cabinet, which it wouldn't make sense if you had handles on your cabinets and you're just pushing everything to open all the time. Like, just why do you have handles? Unless it was an afterthought, but yeah. Kelly says, my kitchen is small to me. Flat panels look better in a bigger kitchen. Yeah. Again, these are things that, like, what you like is what you like. And that's going to determine the way you're going to go with your kitchen. And if you like flat panel, or if you like a recessed panel, or you like a raised panel, I mean, that's the way to go. I guess when it comes to trends, my only thought is, if it comes to your long-term investment in your home and you're going to be living there, I mean, I don't care about trends at all. I don't look at trends. The only reason I look at trend lists is to see what I can talk about on YouTube and what we can discuss, because I don't care what the trends are. I like what I like. Now, of course, I like to know what they are more now, because I'm heavily back into doing online design for clients. So I'd like to be in the know. But for years, it didn't matter to me. Like, I have a kitchen that I like, and that's good. And if someone else doesn't like it, well, they don't live here. And if they do live here, they haven't told me that they don't like it. So I hope she likes it. She's not here to comment. So, all right, we talked to a cabinet maker today, and he said off-gassing comes from Glue compressing wood together. Yeah. So it does come from the glue, and it does come from the ingredients that they use to make MDF and particle board, melamine, and even cabinet grade particle board, which there's different grades of particle board. And it does come from the glue, because the MDF material, the raw material, is just wood. It's all just wood chips. Whether it's plywood, it's wood. If it's MDF, it's wood. And if it's particle board, it's wood chips as well. So it is the glue. So yeah, that's a good comment. Hey, Kurt, thanks for coming on. Everything is white shaker now. How can I get in front of this trend? Well, you get in front of this trend by not putting in white shaker. I put in white shaker and I love it, but flat panel is definitely the way to go. You know what? Unless you just like white shaker, and then, like I said, just go for it. Go for it. Is there any reason more Canadian manufacturers use melamine compared to their US counterparts? That's a great question. When I am looking up in the US at cabinet, especially RTA suppliers, they use a lot of plywood. And in Canada, for some reason, we use a lot of melamine. And I actually had a comment. Someone asked me on another video, is there anybody in Canada who's making an RTA cabinet that's all plywood? Now, I didn't have an answer. I don't know. I don't know all the suppliers. I don't know who's making them. If you know if there's someone out there that is making plywood RTA cabinets, it'd be good to know. Now, there are companies who are making custom. I dealt with a company for years out of New Brunswick, and they made custom cabinets, but they would make them in melamine, but also have the option of doing everything in plywood. But I noticed that, Sanjeev, in the United States, there's a lot more plywood. I don't know if there's a reason. I don't know if it has to do with the price of sheet goods. I don't know where the sheet's coming from. Is it too expensive, to bring them over the border? Maybe there's there's a lot of issues I'm not sure about, and maybe melamine's cheaper, I guess. So that is a really good question. I think I'm going to look into that more, because I think that's worth knowing, actually. So good one. Thank you for bringing that up. I need a designer. I have no idea what I want. Well, you can check out my website. If you want me to help you, I certainly can. That's what I do. I design kitchens. So I'll use this. Matt, I'm going to use you as my advertisement. I have an online kitchen design solution. Design kitchens for people all over the world. It's what I do, what I love to do. So you can definitely find me on mtkd.ca, and I can help you out with that if you need help. Otherwise, go to your local cabinet supplier, and they will definitely design you a kitchen as part of the package of buying a kitchen. And sometimes, if you find a good one, and there's lots of good ones out there, they will really help you to hone in on the right layout for your kitchen, instead of just saying, here you go, and here's my cabinets, and take it or leave it kind of thing. You want a designer that's going to work with you to, get the exact design that works for you in your kitchen, explain why it works, and try different things, and give you some revisions that'll say, well, here's a fridge over here, and here's this over here, and we'll try this. I find the more that you have to look at and more options you have for your kitchen, the more you can say, well, I definitely don't like that, and I like this, and it helps you really decide. There's more than one way to design a kitchen. I mean, you can do it all kinds of different ways. So that's my best advice. When you find a designer, if it's someone like myself or someone in your local community that's building cabinets, and you go to them, really push to get more than one layout that helps you see what your kitchen can look like. What I like to do is, sometimes I'll just give my clients a layout that, at least two options, and one of the options might not even be something that I personally would like, but it would work and it's still functional. But you have to see it in different ways. Like, what if the fridge was on that wall? What would that look like? And instead of just someone saying, well, it's not going to work over there, well, just show me, like, that's what you want. So, because what you're saying is, I don't know what I want, and you won't know what you want until you start seeing it, and you'll be like, yeah, I definitely don't want that. but I like this, and let's play with this layout and massage that to get it exactly. So don't worry if you don't know what you want, because rarely do we really know what we want. So that's good. I hope that is good advice. That's just good advice for anyone, I think, if whatever you're doing. Hey, hey, Matt. I guess I can call you Matt. We're internet friends. So thanks for joining. Really appreciate you being on. Right, we have another thumbs up for no handles. All right, Peggy. Hey, Peggy. What color hardware would look best with off-white cabinets and black island with light quartz? Oh, you got a really nice looking kitchen. Depends what you like, but I'm going to tell you what I think would look nice is a really nice muted brushed bronze, or that goldish, not bright gold, but something that's brushed. That's a really nice look on white. It looks really sharp on black. Otherwise, the good old faithful, brushed nickel looks nice, but it's kind of getting old. I got to admit, I put it on my cabinets because I just liked it. But the more I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's just an old look. Maybe something else would look nice. Yeah, oil rubbed bronze might be a way to go. Best thing to do is go to the hardware store, Peggy, and buy a bunch of samples of them. You can always return them, put them on, have someone hold them up, really look at it, test them on the black and the white. If you already have the cabinets in place, or again, just go on the internet and just kind of look through and kind of get your search to be that specific, and you'll find images on Google and look to see. But I personally think I like to, someone can let me know what they think, that brushed, yeah, like here's antique gold, like that look. That's really, really nice. So thumbs up. I like that. Hey, Rose, great that you can be on. I don't know if it's snowing where you're at, but the snow is on the way to me right now. And hopefully we can all stay safe. A big snowstorm happening here where I live anyway. I like how flat panel can take. I like your avatar. I like how flat panel can take a back seat to other features in the kitchen, highlighting the cabinet color and other kitchen textures or features by providing a place of rest. So that's a really great, cool outlook. I never considered that as one of the things to consider, but yeah, it makes sense. You're not looking at the particular door style, but there's other things in the kitchen that can draw your attention, and we'll talk about one of them actually in a minute. Here we go. I looked it up. Oh, there goes my camera. I looked it up. The cabinets we have do not contain formaldehyde. Our cabinets are from IKEA, in case anyone else is interested. Thank you for mentioning that. It's great to know, because that is, a hot topic for a lot of people. It's been a hot topic for a long time. We want to know what's in there. What are the ingredients? That's important. So I think we should know that. Hey, cool. Hey, from Barbados. Hey, thanks for joining me. That's awesome that you can join me. Barbados, I think we have the same time zone. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm in Atlantic Standard Time. So it's awesome that you're on here. I really appreciate everyone who comes on the live stream or just watches any of my videos. It's a really great community. I really appreciate y'all, and especially if we can just interact like this. I think it's totally fun. Rose saying there's lots of snow. Oh, I can't wait. I love snow. Thanks, Jake. Yes, a place to, yeah. So we got an agreement here. And you know what? I think part of my problem is I'm not an interior designer, and I'm trying to learn. I watch Nick Lewis like everyone else does to try to get in on what's, what I should be looking at, and what's good or not good. And I'm learning too. So yeah, that was a really good point about, having cabinets that just don't draw your eye the way that maybe a raised panel or a shaker does. So that was, where are we? Which one are we on here? Flat panel doors. Flat panel doors are uber popular right now. Let's continue. Oh, Matthew, appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. That just blows my mind. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, Matthew, if you ever want my advice, on a layout, if you get somewhere else, just send me an email. I love chatting about kitchens, and I certainly don't mind, looking at a kitchen design that you have, or if you just need advice on a layout. I love chatting kitchen. So appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. That's really awesome. For anyone else, super chats where you just kind of, I guess, donate to have your chat show up, and I really appreciate that. So thank you very much. Oh, cool. A friend sent me a link. I'm into finishing, coming from a graphic designer background. Awesome. Well, we should maybe chat sometime, because I am not from an interior design or a graphic designer background, but I think those worlds, can connect in a way that can complement each other. So that's really cool. I appreciate that. Hey, Mike, did you like the look of those concrete cabinets? Yeah, Mike, you sent me a picture of these concrete cabinets. Was that on Instagram? I think it was, or you messaged me. They were interesting looking. They looked really cool. I wonder how heavy they are. Like, are they heavy? Like, and I don't know. Why would you want a concrete cabinet? What do you think, Mike? Tell me what you think about that. So there's these concrete cabinets that you can get, and they're basically made of concrete. Yeah, Pinterest. So I guess because they're concrete, they'd have to be formed and they'd be hung on your wall. I imagine that would be heavy. I imagine they'd last a long time, and that's a good one. Poured in place. I don't know how a concrete cabinet would work at all. Let's do a little digging and we'll find out. We're going to find out that one. I'm going to rifle through some more of these comments, and I'll jump back into a couple more trends. Two more trends to go. Wife is asking what you think of painting cabinets. Ooh, that's juicy. If I'm like straddling here, it's because my camera's right in front of my screen. I'm trying to look around the tripod. We are very against it, but lots of flippers do it. Plus, even Meet Kevin pushes it. What do I think of it? Well, I did a video a little while back, and this isn't just so you to watch the video. The idea was, you never ask a kitchen designer if he should paint your cabinets, because a kitchen designer is trying to sell you a new kitchen. And the idea was, don't paint your cabinets. But painting cabinets can, if done correctly, if the layout is great and nothing needs to be changed, like, go for it. If they're prepped correctly, Jeff at Homestead just did a video 1 or 2 ago, 2 or 3 ago maybe, on painting cabinets and how to do it. He did it with brush and roller, how to do it correctly. You can spray it if you want to get into more money, and you should have it done professionally if you really want it to be done right. So I guess I'm not against it per se if it's going to be done right. Again, as long as the layout is good, I'm okay with it. So that's a good question, and I don't know if that helps your case or not, but if, I guess, for flipping, I don't know. It's definitely going to save you money in the long run, but if that's what it's for, if it's for your own kitchen, I don't recommend it. Again, that's case by case scenario. That's a real tough one. Some guys here are using UPVC to do carcasses. So, is that, that's like a plastic, right? It's some type of plastic. That's interesting. Okay, let's jump into one of these here so we can move on here, and I'll jump right back into the comments. Keep them coming. I really like chatting here. So the next thing we wanted to chat about, we had flat panel doors. That was the number third trend, and this one, single bowl stainless, or actually white single bowl. The idea here is that over the next number of years, this is what the industry is saying is going to be popular. Now, if you're familiar with me, you're like, well, Mark, you're setting this up to the things that you like. I'm not, I promise. I do happen to like stainless steel single large bowl sinks, but I'm not jerry rigging this to be, just what I like at all. Just so happens that that happens to be what the industry and what consumers are purchasing. And so the people who are making these products are like, okay, well, these are the things we have to really, you know, gear towards. And I think the reason for that is because of the workstation sink that has become so popular. And because of the workstation sink, we're seeing more and more of that. So whether it's in a stainless or a white sink is very popular, especially the fire clay, or even we talked about before the cast iron. Sorry, those ones. And you know that is something that we're just going to have to live with for a little bit. The double sink is definitely trending down, and I get a lot of we have lots of chats about the sinks, and I have a few sink videos that I did just chatting about the different types of sinks, and so that's one of the things that's trending. Let me know what you think. Hi Zoe, that's my girl. She's in university taking nursing. So thanks for joining my live stream, and be careful on the road. It's gonna snow. All right. Is it relatively easy to replace a builder's double sink with a single workstation? Yes. Um, it is. Okay. Let me say this. If it's a top mount sink, it should be really easy because you got a hole there that you're dropping it in. It's an undermount sink. As long as it is the same size dimensions, it shouldn't be a problem. So it is relatively easy. Yeah. I mean, it could be like not going to work, but I think if you just measure the hole, find out what the cutout size for the new sink is, it shouldn't really be a problem. As far as installing it, if it's an undermount, follow the directions. It can be done fairly easily. Silicone, I recommend bracing it some other fashion as well, just because it's sitting in there underneath. You don't want to fall out. But yeah, I think it's relatively easy. College dreamer. That was my problem in college. I dreamed too much and I didn't get any work done. Thoughts on knockdown drywall texture? Okay, help me out. Are you talking about cabinets or countertops? Knockdown drywall texture. So I'm just not familiar with the term. So leave another chat. Let me know what that is. Oh, top mount. Yeah. If it's a top mount sink, shouldn't be a problem at all. I've replaced sinks before. It's not hard. Pull that old sink out. Again, make sure the sink is the right size. But other than that, you're good to go. And drop the sink in. It should be good. You can get really nice sinks now. And assuming probably this is what you're getting, the single had this really low profile edge. The old sinks had that kind of bulky edge on it. Really low profile. Looks almost like it's seamless. Really nice. Lindsay B, we're almost done with our new kitchen and put in extra large 47-inch single bowl stainless workstation sink. 47 inches. Wow. That's an awesome size sink. I previously put in Fireclay Farmhouse sink in the kitchen, but I want lower maintenance. Man. So do you have two faucets as well or just the one sink? That is an awesome size sink. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad that my video helped somebody do something. Your video on sinks changed my mind to go single sink. I hope you love it. I love my single, but man, a 47-inch sounds awesome. So just help me out. I want to talk about this sink for a minute because I'm liking this sink. Is the cabinet, was it a pre-existing cabinet? Like what, it must have been a new cabinet or a new kitchen. So tell me about how that went. Did you go with custom made cabinets? Did they build you a 48, 49-inch sink base? What happened? Just one commercial style faucet. Okay, cool. I like it. And did it have all the bells and whistles? All the bells and whistles is what I want to know. What did it come with? Oh, what are all the goodies that sink came with? Because you can, there's so many of those like trinkets, I call them, that come with those sinks. They look so amazing. So hopefully, yeah, let me know about the sink base and all the trinkets. I'm a little bit interested in that. And so there you go. I mean, that's the thing that's really trending is these single bowl stainless sinks and white sinks as well. And that's just how that goes. Let's look at the last one, and then we'll wrap this up in a few minutes. So this is the last trend that I didn't get to talk about, and it was vent hoods as a focal point. And this has been done for a long time. It's not something that's new. I don't think I've done this for a long time, but also for a long time, what I've seen is you just have a cabinet with regular old under cabinet mounted range hood. It gets the job done. It gets the air out of there if it's vented out properly, and you don't have to ever worry about it. But then came along these chimney style hoods that became more and more popular, give you more of that commercial style look that people wanted to go with, and they just became kind of run of the mill. I mean, most kitchens that I do now, they include that type of range hood. And then more and more people are wanting to go with something that has some kind of feature and something that is more, something to look at in the kitchen, not just do the duty of, getting all the air circulated out of there. And so that's a big trend. And that can be either the unit itself or just featuring the unit in a particular way, like whether it's cladded or something unique over the range to give that a focal point. I think this harkens back to the flat panel doors that we mentioned, that hey, if the attention is not on the door style itself and it's on this gorgeous thing over the range, then that is something that people are really interested in. So that's something that more and more people are talking about and wanting to have in their kitchens as something that's trending. And so I like that idea. I put one over my range, and it's not, it's I have a beam that runs through my ceiling, and it's a particular color, dark brown beam that we stained it, and the column of the range hood has that same color, and so it just ties into that beam, and it's more of a focal point. Now my kitchen's not large; it's a small kitchen, and so it doesn't stand out as this great big vast thing, but that idea is still there. And so hey, that's something to look at in your next kitchen. So I'm going to jump into some more comments, and if I missed a comment or if I missed you, it's just I apologize. I'll take a run back up through the comments and try to talk to everybody that I can, because I really appreciate you when you leave a comment. So hello from Colorado. Hi, I would love to visit Colorado someday, as soon as all this craziness in the world dies down with I guess I can't say the name of the pandemic virus, or I might get shut down or something from YouTube. But someday, Amy and I think we'd like to just travel, and I definitely want to go skiing. So thank you for joining me from Colorado. I really appreciate it. Lindsay B, all new RTA cabinets. Okay, got the biggest sink base option and cut down the sides. I love the fact that you just went for it to accommodate the sink. Sink came with cutting board, drying rack, strainer, all the trinkets. I love it. Cool. So yeah, so here you go. This is a great example. Thank you, Lindsay, for mentioning your sink and mentioning this, because here's a great example that just because you have an RTA cabinet doesn't mean, and if I'm not looking at the camera all the time, it's because I'm going around here clicking buttons, doesn't mean that you can't do something custom with those RTA cabinets. So Lindsay said she cut down her sink base. She got the largest one. So Lindsay, I'm assuming it's a 36. Most of them are, but I guess it's a 36. You cut that cabinet, you cut the gables out of that cabinet, the sides, and you use the other cabinets to just house the rest of that sink, and away you go. You just have a huge sink. You make it unique. You make it yours. And I think that's a really great point that she brought up, maybe inadvertently, for me just to say, hey, listen, if you have RTA cabinets, or you think you have to, you can't do anything that's unique or custom, you definitely can. If you want to, you can figure out a way. I love to push the envelope, especially with RTA. I love to just try to find out ways to do what I want to do. And that's a really good one. And the hood is a focal point for you as well. Cool. We're tracking tonight. I bet your kitchen looks amazing. So so Lindsay, let me just mention this, and maybe you'd be up for this, or anybody watching would be up for this. What I'd like to do in the future is just feature some kitchens from viewers on some videos, maybe a series of videos. And the plan is, some before and after pictures of what their kitchen was, what their kitchen is, what they did, just to kind of highlight it, to see what people are doing. I think it'll be interesting, and it'll be, a way for us to chat more about, kitchen design in a unique way. And also, if you have a kitchen that that you're disgusted with and you want someone to design it and come up with some ideas, I'd love to do some videos where I redesign those kitchens. And if, as long as you're comfortable having your kitchen displayed on the internet, then you can do that. So anybody can reach out to me at mark@mtkd.ca. I'll put a link in the description of this video, and that would be something that's interesting. So let me know if you think that would be interesting for a viewer and you'd like to, show off your kitchen. I'd love to do that. So Lindsay or anyone else, that'd be pretty cool. Hey, Rose. You're late, but that's okay. Kitty chow. I'm running out right after this to go get cream for coffee because we're getting a big snowstorm and we cannot have a day tomorrow where there's no cream. So that's no problem. The kitty needs chow. Yeah, definitely. Yes, for Colorado. I want to visit. Darlene says, you don't need a large kitchen to cook toast. Have a good night. Thanks, Darlene, for coming on. We're just heading over an hour. So I'm going to look through a few more comments and we'll say goodnight. But yeah, you don't. I have a video idea that I'm thinking about, which is your kitchen too big for Christmas? And or is your kitchen big enough for Christmas, I guess? Because normally I'm just making toast and pancakes, and I don't need a huge kitchen for that. So that's some pretty cool insight. You're welcome. Get out of here. You don't have to stick around. Go get your cream, or you can wait that much longer. So listen, I really appreciate everyone who's coming on. And I think I seen a comment here that I want to answer. Lever. So I'm trying to pronounce your name. If I get it wrong, again, apologize. Lever. What are RTA cabinets? RTA stands for ready to assemble. So it would be prepackaged cabinets that come in a flat pack box, and you assemble them yourself. So that's what RTA stands for. And there's probably just other terminology that we use around the world. It's what you'd find at IKEA. They just come flat packed, and we call them RTA. In the States and in Canada, at least, we call them that. So my first contractor came back yesterday to do some finished work and dinged up the crap made cabinet paint. The crap made, I think you're talking about craft made cabinet. Are you talking about craft made? I used to sell that brand of cabinet. I won't talk about what I think about it right now. They're in every bedroom. Very depressing how lousy finish right out of the box. Yeah, that's the thing, you gotta be careful with some of these companies. The finishing a cabinet is a skill, and some places have it, some places don't. So you really gotta do your research and get a company that really has a good product. All right, a couple more and we'll get out of here. If you're leaving chats, I don't want to leave you because I don't want to leave you behind. So 1960 brick ranch, the vent goes through the attic out the roof. Yeah, gotta get that vent outside. Someone mentioned, and Melissa, I don't know, I'm not sure who it was, but we were talking about venting OTR microwaves and what the big deal is. And really the big deal is that you want to get that moisture out of the air because it's not healthy, one, and on the smell and all that stuff of cooking. And sometimes if you have a good HVAC system in your kitchen that's working properly and that's set up right and that the filters are cleaned and all that stuff, that can definitely help. But I'm just a proponent of getting that smell vented. Now, when Amy's cooking, like especially anything curry or, I can be out in the backyard and I can smell supper because it vents outside. And it's like, oh, it's a signal for me to be like, oh, wow. Like I come in and she can tell you, I say this all the time when I come in the house, babe, like it smells amazing in our backyard. Like, I can't wait, what's for supper? So you just want to get that smell and the moisture specifically out of the kitchen. I just think it's a good idea overall. We have a kitchen continent, not an island. Well, man, now I can't come up with that. That's a really good one. I'm going to use that someday. I'll use that in a video. And if you'll let me use that, that's a great one. Kitchen continents are very, very trendy right now. Everyone wants a huge kitchen island. And same with me. I just think they're great. The more surface area, the better. But not everyone thinks the same. But yeah, we have a kitchen continent. That's awesome. I bet you have a ton of storage and a ton of work surface. So that's what you want. Rose at Earl House remodeled the kitchen to accommodate a 25-person holiday load. Like, that's a lot of people. And it's probably only for a couple times a year, but something you definitely need to consider if you have all your family over is the kitchen going to fit all these people? And we're going to put our kitchen to the test this Christmas to see if we can fit a few more people in here. Again, we have a small kitchen and we downsize, so we have a smaller home. But hey, family's family. So love the kitchen continent. Yeah, I'm just jealous I didn't say it first. Anyway, that's all good. Yes, craft made, but they are crummy. Well, you know what? I'm sorry, but I got to agree with you. I sold craft made for a while, and I wasn't a super fan. Okay, craft made, if you're out there, if you're listening, sorry, got something in my eye. I wasn't a super fan. The quality was a little suspect for me, especially from what I was used to using to that. So again, I don't want to disparage anybody. So and we call them crap made. Yeah, I've heard that before actually. So I don't want to. Yeah. So obviously, Craft Made isn't sponsoring this video or probably any of my videos now forever, but that's okay. It's definitely better that you get good quality products, and these companies need to make good quality products if we're going to buy them. So we got to hold them accountable, right? We don't do much of that here in Barbados. We usually build it from scratch. Well, I think that is probably the best way to go, building it from scratch. But we do a lot of it here in Canada and a lot of it in the States as well. We do a lot of RTA, and there's a lot of companies because more and more people want to do it themselves. And when we're doing it ourselves, most people aren't going to go build them because we don't have the skills to do that. But we do have the skills to screw together and assemble some cabinets out of a flat pack. I've done it, and I'm no carpenter. I'm sure lots of you have done that as well. But you are getting what you're getting for the most part. So there's definitely a difference between something that's built from scratch and something that's RTA, ready to assemble. And, that's good that you're building them from scratch, because the quality, when you look years ago, and I look at years ago at the era of my grandparents, and even into my parents' generation, the quality of cabinetry was really solid, sturdy, solid wood, solid oak, plywood, and now it's not the same. Though that trend is turning around because more and more people want wood, solid wood. So, all right. Well, all right. We use Click Studios. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. On complete kitchen gut job, great product, and they have an RTA and ready made. All right. Always so many brands out there that I've never heard of. It's always great to hear about some. I can check them out. And I have clients all the time ask me about, can you design for this brand or for that brand? I can design for any brand, because I can just go on their website and find out what their listing is, what their sizes are, and design around that. So Click Studios, I'll have to check out to see what that's all about. So I really appreciate that. I want to say to everyone, thank you so much for just coming on the live stream. I'm gonna cut it off and go get my coffee cream so I don't get in trouble either. And we have some cream tomorrow. If you're watching the replay, there's some videos in the description of this video that I recommend you watch. Specifically, my video from last Saturday about the kitchen trends that no one really is talking about, but they're really going to drive your kitchen into the future. And yeah, keep smiling, y'all. Thank you so much. So see everyone next Wednesday. We'll be here live again, and we're getting close to kitchen. Hey, there's Mom. The like button is hit. Thanks, Mom. Everyone have a safe night. Have a great night, and we will see you soon on the channel. Thanks so much again, and thanks for that super chat. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you all again. Bye, everyone.